Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. It's been about a week. Won't lie, I've been under the weather. You can probably tell I'm out of breath. Just not back to normal just yet, but I had to make a video on ZkSync because obviously today's the big day. Now, I know a lot of people are unhappy with what happened. Some people are very happy. Let's go through exactly what happened. And obviously, yes, some people, I get it. You want to call it a scam. In my opinion, I think ZkSync did a better job, not a perfect job, but a better job than some of the other airdrop campaigns that we've had. I want to walk you guys through everything, including the claim, when it's available, the strategy, how you could have made even more, what you can do in the future, and basically much, much more. I do apologize that I'm out of breath. Like I said, I've been very sick the last week or so since I came back from Vegas. I caught something. I think you guys, I caught something. It wasn't a transmitted disease or anything like that, but I did catch something which made me very, very sick. So want to definitely talk to you guys about this. And before people overreact and start saying it's a scam, because I know people will always do that stuff, you can either be a victim or you can be a winner. You can't be both. And like I said, I was, even though I was unhappy with StarkNet, there were some things I took away, and I think it did help me out this time. And I definitely want to make sure that, we talk about it and exactly what's going on. All right. So with that being said, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. As you guys know, I am not here to farm you guys for views. Let's just show you this for an example. Guys, in the last month, I've had 16,000 views. In the last, what's it called, 48 hours, 643 views. Could care less about the views on the channel. I just want to support you guys, want to bring you the intel. Tell me what other crypto person is doing this. I'm not here for engagement. I'm not here for views. If that was the case, I'd be making a video every single day. You look over here. Look how often I've had videos recently. Look at that. There's like nothing. And the reason for that is because I only want to bring you stuff that's important. I'm not motivated by your views, by your attention. I'm motivated by helping you guys. If there's something urgent, I'm here to sort of cover it. If not, I'll let others talk about it because there isn't that much to talk about. So with that being said, today, this morning around 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern, the official claim website for ZkSync went live. I put the link to that in the description below. Claim.zknation.io. You can either connect your wallet to the website, like so on the top right, or you can just type in the address and it will sort of give you that countdown telling you exactly how many tokens you earned, as well as what caused you to earn this. Now, there's a ton of things I want to go through here. The first thing I want to say, though, is number one, I wanted to ask you guys how you guys did. Not surprised to get a bunch of messages saying it's a scam. Anytime somebody gets 0 tokens, like, what I want to ask is for the people who got 0 tokens, be honest and be genuine here. Did you truly put in the effort, or did you just follow some idiot on YouTube or Twitter who told you to like bridge some tokens, do this one activity, put in $5, and that you would get a massive allocation? Because what's happening is that used to be the case. You could do things like this, but this stuff is getting way more competitive and they're looking at other criteria. And while some of you may have done the criteria that you see here, this is not enough. Now you see here, as we go down here, a lot of people will talk about either it's a scam or they got something and they want to know some more information. I'm going to cover all of this here. And for example, Toby Kenobi, no offense, dude, but if you want to call it ZK scam, it's a scam because you didn't get anything. Did you put in the effort, or are you just going to call yourself a victim? Because there is no free money here. Now, guys, this is not a tone-deaf video. I recognize some of you may not have qualified for other reasons. We've talked about that as well earlier today in our private group. But what I will say also is I've been getting messages from people all day being like, oh, I missed claiming this other airdrop, or, oh, I didn't do what you said to do for ZkSync. Is there a way for me to now get that airdrop? Guys, there is effort involved in this. So there's two categories of people who didn't get the airdrop. Those who didn't put any effort, which in that case, I don't feel bad for you. Like, this is not going to be handout city. But if you put in the effort and you think something was a mistake, let's talk a bit about that and let's get to the root of it in this video, because I want to make sure you guys have clarity, and maybe this is something you need to follow up with the team on. But before I get into the chat, I just wanted to cover what the most important criteria was. This ended up being the base level to earn points. Now, you had to earn at least, I believe, 1 or 2 points here to make it to the next level. In this case, as you can see over here, I interacted with 10 smart contracts. I had deposited liquidity into DeFi protocols. So in this case, Sync Swap. I traded 10 different ERC20 tokens. I held a Libertas Omnibus NFT, and I used Paymaster for 5 transactions. So all 5 of the ERA and none of the light. And that makes sense because the ZK Lite or ZkSync Lite only mattered before the ERA mainnet was launched. I wasn't farming it prior to that. I only farmed once ZkSync Era was there. So I did not qualify for any of these. That being said, I think I did capture very accurately what would help you qualify for the airdrop. I've made some guides in the past giving you some more information. I've even linked to something, or I've shown snapshots in those videos of something that I share only with the Web3 Secret Society. That being said, guys, like, if you're looking at this airdrop and you did not earn any ZkSync and you are sick and tired of missing out, if you're sick and tired of not having the guidance, looking on, YouTube or Twitter and just feel like you're spinning your wheels, doing a ton of activities, because I know you're not alone. There's a lot of people who message me whenever these happen, saying they want to give up, saying this is too much. They're burnt out. They spent money. They earned nothing. They're confused. You need some clarity, and you need to have a process to simplify and clear directions. I know all of you want that. And I know many of you, whenever I show this, some people will complain and say, oh my God, $20 was the worst. Now it's 60. Well, hey, look, this group's not for everyone. So this is for people who are serious. Also, it's not for people who just want to pay the $60 and do nothing and expect things to happen. You have to sort of follow along. There's at least 2 channels I require people to look at every other day at a minimum, just to make sure you're staying on top of what we got to do, as well as our master spreadsheet. And in that master spreadsheet, I give very clear directions for ZkSync. Not all of it ended up coming to fruition. Number of transaction volume did not matter. Number of unique contracts didn't matter. But part of what I had shared with the group was, when you're looking for unique contracts, the best way, or one of the best ways, is to trade for as many of those tokens available on the platform. So for those who followed, they would have gotten this check mark. At the same time, if you got at least 10 of these contracts, you got the other check mark. So that's all you needed to get beyond. On top of that, the native bridge volume mattered, and Paymaster. I had the 5 Paymaster transactions, so that was spot on. Pretty much everything else was kind of a non-factor beyond this one right here. And this was a learning for me from Starknet. So Starknet, I got 0. You guys remember this. I had 0. I had ETH on my wallet, but I learned right then and there, and I think we all learned, having ETH, having money matters on the platform. So ever since then, every single thing I farm, I leave money on there. On Zora, I have 0.5 Ethereum or 0.4 Ethereum sitting on the Zora mainnet. I have 0.8 or 0.9 ETH sitting on Linea. Same thing with Scroll. And the reason for that is because I want to make sure that I'm qualifying through whatever amount of ETH or something that I need. And in fact, while I held at least 0.1 ETH, even at most times, I was holding upwards of 0.5, 1, or 2 ETH in my wallet. On top of that, I had done some mini transactions, like $50 here and there for Sync Swap liquidity provider. Didn't really add that much. But what happens is, when you take a look at their actual airdrop token and how they help people qualify, a couple things I want to highlight here: 17.5% airdrop, 16.1% to the team. But, they basically said 66.7 goes to community, 33% to the team. They talk about communities, everything. I think some of you will disagree based on what's happened. What was interesting to me was that 695,000 wallets qualified. If you took a look at any of those wallet checkers, like those trackers to see how we're doing, I used to see like 3 or 4 million wallets in existence. So it's about 15% only of those wallets that actually got this airdrop. They obviously said they wanted to reward real people, high risk, high reward. And I'm going to talk a bit about what they did. Some things of note, they did have a cap on the number of tokens. I know some people disagree. The cap here is 100K for the usage-based airdrop. We went over this points, but for eligibility, what you had to do was have at least 1 point out of these to be eligible for the airdrop. The next thing that happened, and what you should notice if you're in Blast or if you're in Linea and others, they care about money over time. So it's an area equation. So it's not enough to bridge $10 over to ZkSync, do a transaction, and then bridge it out or hold $10. Because then what happens is it's looking at the amount of money you leave on the chain for the extended duration up and until the date of the snapshot. The date of the snapshot was March 24th, which was the anniversary date for ZkSync. So, or the date that it had launched the year before, which is once again another clue for us to keep in mind for next time. Now, after you got that eligibility, you got through gate 1. So let's say you did 10 transactions. Fantastic. You're in step 2. Now, your allocation is calculated based on how much crypto you bridged and how long those assets were in ZkSync era. The value scaled allocations for each address was then boosted by each additional point they earned. The more points they received, the larger their final allocation. And you got multipliers, and I thought this is a really good idea. They wanted to support those who actually are active in the ecosystem, because remember, this is a governance token. They don't want people selling it, even though I'm going to tell you to sell your token. They don't want people selling this token. So the way they chose to do this is, well, if you were somebody who owned ZkSync native NFTs, you got a multiplier. If you held some of the ZkSync native ERC20 tokens, which I accidentally did because I was too lazy to trade them back, then I got that one. If you used the ZkSync account abstraction, you got it again, which is also something that I covered here, which is, where is it? The safe. Set up multi-sig safe wallet and attempt some transactions. That was in there. And then basically, if you held previous airdrops, so that was something I definitely did not get. And finally, if you were transacting with popular ETH mainnet smart contracts, so this could, and exploring new use cases and dApps. So if you're farming, if you're using EigenLayer, if you're using Gitcoin Passport, I assume all of these things, including ENS, mattered. Once that happened, you got your token allocation. You had to have a minimum requirement of 450 ZK to qualify. If you got less, it was the same as you being ineligible. And you get a max or a cap of 100K. And then anyone who had 450K or 450 or less, or anyone who had 100K or more, all of that recycled back in the pool. And then those tokens were distributed again and brought the minimum allocation up to 917 ZK. They also had some thoughtful Sybil detection. I was convinced they were going to use the outputs of layer 0. I guess that didn't happen. And now they also have a community-based allocation. Just so you guys know, you're able to claim your token starting next week until the end of, or until the first week of Jan 3rd, 2025. And what is really cool about this airdrop is the claiming part is free. So if you got a small amount, let's say a 900, which I guess is not a small amount if you consider the value, it's like 250 to 300 bucks at the current valuation, but the claiming is gas free. So that's pretty good too. Now, if you take a look quickly at Whales Market, the price for the ZK token has actually, I don't want to say it's cratered, but it has sold off quite a bit. There have been some talks around a redistribution. Obviously, some of these probably are rumors. You never know. I've sold so far only 20% of that airdrop. I have, or I guess not even 20%, 15,000 out of 99 whatever. So 1.3 ETH worth, just because I did not want to end up committing too much and finding that they redid the whole thing. So just be careful if you are using whales, because this sort of thing can happen to you too. And there's a lot of people who are buying and selling because there's a lot of interest in this token. This is actually one of the better airdrops, one of the better tokens potentially to hold. But once again, it's a ton of money. So that's sort of the thing here. One last thing I will talk about before we get into some of the nuances and sort of people being excluded is the airdrop terms and conditions. So make sure you check this out. It's very important before you do anything to understand the restrictions. So you will not be eligible to participate, aka you need to make sure you have your VPN locked and loaded if you're a USA resident, Russia resident, Iran, Cuba, Crimea, etc. Make sure you just sort of check all of this out. The details are very, very important because you don't want to miss out on this as well. So there were a couple things posted here. The first thing here was Axel, I thought, posted a very good thread. Basically, supply is great. I believe I saw at the current price, I believe it's $7 billion value, fair, fully diluted valuation. People were wondering why they didn't qualify. Well, we sort of went through exactly why that was the case, how they filtered people. One thing of note, and kind of is annoying, if you take a look at the omnibus sell-off, which happened in March, it happened around the same time. So it's obviously clear that some people just somehow knew the information on when the snapshot was taken. Maybe they could just be like Nancy Pelosi lucky, let's just say, and just somehow able to ninja it that they were going to do the snapshot on the same day, but it was a very important thing. But still kind of annoying because obviously we want a fair launch, and that kind of stuff is obviously never very good. But as I said before, what mattered significantly was how much you bridged and you held in ZkSync. Now, I understand some of you just don't have the money to put 0.5 or 0.1 or 0.2 ETH on a protocol and leave it there. But what I will say as well is this goes back to something I've been preaching from the start of this year, which is, guys, people just do way too much in this space. You don't need to be on your computer 24/7. You don't need to be watching new videos. You don't need to be farming every single protocol. You've got to be very selective, and you've got to do it right when you are doing it. That's why I always tell people in my group, they're always like, oh, what about all these things? Why aren't you making more videos and whatever on YouTube? People always ask me because I don't think they're worth your time. And honestly, if there's not enough money to do all the projects. So if I was doing that same thing, there's no way I would have been able to keep the money that I do on all these chains. The reason I do it this way is I'm prioritizing ZkSync, prioritizing Linea, Scroll, Chroma, right? This is how I prioritize even Sanctum to keep all that money on there. This stuff is important. And if you're getting distracted and saying, oh, well, I can't leave the money here because it needs to go here, I got to use Hyperlane and do these transactions and take it off, you're going to end up missing out. So here's a very good example by Axel where he talks about, for example, two same people hitting the 2-point criteria, LP and Paymaster. One bridges 1 ETH into ZkSync, holds it for a year. One bridges 0.1 ETH into ZkSync, holds it for 1 month. And the person who bridged in much more and for much longer just gets a way bigger allocation. Now, obviously, this 40K to 1K is not vetted by the math, but I would expect it to be somewhat of a not linear, but almost like an exponential curve. The same thing we're seeing with Blast. If you expect to get a massive Blast airdrop, but you never put any liquidity into Blast, you're not hitting those multipliers, you're not doing it for a long enough time, you can't get it. Right? I've talked to people who put in a bunch of ETH, but they did it for a few days. So if you do it for a few days and a bunch of ETH, once again, you're not going to get that much, if that. So this is where you have to be very specific in what you do. Now, here's all this stuff here, so it's not bad. I do agree with his opinion here. They should have given some weight to volume and transactions instead of completely removing it. And they did actually do something similar to Stark. However, it was hidden inside a layer, basically incentivizing people to bridge more into ZkSync and hold. So people with less funds but good grinds got burnt out here with all their yearly activity. That's the reason why some of your OG wallets got slashed hard, as there was no determining factor for it. And of course, people who got the DGen and Bonsai airdrop claimers got more airdrop than the actual on-chain ZkSync users, which was obviously very interesting. Now, obviously, this is why we say it's not going to be something big. Cape made a post earlier too as well, basically with 3 suggestions. The first one was to reduce the allocation of the 75 to 100K tokens and redistribute these numbers back to the community by decreasing the maximum cap. Many complaints suggest that 100K is excessive, and many concerns indicating the base tokens minus 100K gap is too large. What I'll say about this is like, look, I'm not going to be tone deaf here, so if that's what's best for everybody, I'm okay with it being trimmed for me too. But I also here's where I have an issue with the whole thing. I think the people who are complaining, even if they get extra like 1,000 or 500 or something, still won't be happy. So that's I'm kind of middle of the road here. I think what ZkSync was trying to do was try to estimate who would be best to get the tokens and hold versus sell. So you never know. This is something that I've been hearing they're thinking about. Another one is to reallocate a portion of the planned community tokens earlier to lower tier allocations, increase the number of eligible wallets. I actually think this is a way better idea, increasing the airdrop supply to 20%. I heard a lot of people were upset that mods and team members were getting much more than most people. And then finally, setting an earlier deadline for everyone to claim tokens, and then basically doing what they did with Dimension, which is if some tokens weren't collected, they get redistributed equally among those who did their claims. And basically that would also help bolster those who got less. Suggestion 4 is something I thought they would do. Now I think it's way too late, which is collaborating with Layer 0 for their Sybil list. I think they're not even done, or sorry, Sybil list. They're not even done. But apparently some people are saying obvious Sybils with near identical wallet stats got 50 to 100K. Don't know if it's true. And finally, rewarding long-term ZkSync users. Many OG users felt neglected despite significant contributions and time investment, yet resulting in ineligibility. One thing I will say here, though, is I remember Starknet coming out saying on the Bankless podcast they were going to do something, and they did absolutely nothing to help anybody who got destroyed by their thing. They hope that people would forget, and Starknet has not been doing very well. I also think that has somewhat to do with a lot of their technology being absolute trash anyways, so I don't think they would have done well regardless. I think once their airdrop was over, that entire chain was over regardless, but it didn't do them any favors. For ZkSync, it'll be very interesting to see what happens because, like I said, it's very polarizing. Some people are very happy, some people are not. I think more people are happy than not versus the case with Starknet, where it was much more one-sided. And like I said, I don't want to be tone deaf because I know a lot of people come on here, especially some of the threads I read where people saying, well, if you got no airdrop, you got no skills. And I'm like, I wouldn't say it that way because there are some people I know who did put in the work. But, you know, once again, if you don't know the right things to focus on, and it's impossible to know, right? There is no clear guideline. It's just you need to cover as many bases as possible. It almost, I'll be honest, it feels when I'm doing this, if I show you this, it feels like I'm playing roulette. Great. Can I afford to put bets on every one of these lines? Can I do that? If not, okay, which ones can I do? And then if it goes on something else that I'm not aware of, it can completely crater your airdrop. And in this case, it was the money you put on chain and the length of time you do it. So I know some people have reached out to me thanking me for letting them know to keep going even in Feb about this, and they got some. They didn't get a lot, but still it was better than nothing they were saying. I also know some people who started in March and got nothing because, you know, I guess there wasn't enough time. So I definitely want to sort of talk to you guys about this, but one last thing I just want to say is, guys, you always got to be careful of people like this. So this guy is probably the biggest piece of trash on Twitter. I've talked about him so many times. All this guy does is post a bunch of junk every single day on how to farm airdrops. Never once has been right. Not once. This is somebody who literally gives you the worst advice. Bridge $5 from a centralized exchange and then do these transactions, send it back, you're good. And yeah, tries to claim here has got 2.9 million ZK tokens on 587 walls. You give me a break. This person has never done anything. But if you look at their post, you'll see them post that they made $1 million on this meme coin. They call this one and their private little thing or whatever. They've never shown anything. Like absolutely shown nothing. And yeah, those who don't be sorry. Yeah, like this person, all they do is do it for clicks. They're absolutely terrible. I call them out every single time I see them because I hope that none of you are following people like this, because this person, like literally, I've got a bridge to sell you if you believe them. They don't make money outside of farming for views. So just be aware of that. Now, guys, I want to make sure we sort of get back into the chat and see what's going on here from you guys, and we'll talk about it, all right? So we got Haitian Buffet, ZK Scam, can't even check. My allocation had to go through Chinese link, got 4,300. Okay, that's like $1,200, nice. I received 64K tokens. Good job in getting 100K at the Brown Gent. Yeah, well, I mean, it's close to 100K, but yeah, like I appreciate that. Like, guys, like I said, it's all about following a right approach and right strategy. Like I said, you're not always gonna get it right. Like I got a zero. I got a big goose egg for Starknet because I didn't do what they wanted me to do completely. But I think it's just studying and learning for next time and trying to do more things right than wrong. And I think. So I have no empathy for those people who just want to come on here and say some negative stuff and to put zero effort. If you put zero effort into this, you deserve nothing. If you put effort, that's different. So I'm not talking about you. But if you're somebody who put in zero effort and you expect to just be given money for doing nothing, just doing one transaction or reading a Twitter thread by some idiot and just doing what they're saying blindly, well, then you actually deserve to get nothing. That's my opinion. Congrats, bro. You ate big on ZK. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not gonna even bother reading this. Like I said, I don't need to hear about this. Instead of calling it a scam, tell me what happened to you and let's talk about it. Okay. Looks like they're gonna reduce the allo. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Will be interesting, right? Yeah. Thanks. I'm excited. Yeah, like you got, what did you get, Justin? You got 64K. That's a big amount of dollars. It's like 18 G's or almost $19,000 at the current price. So congratulations. I hope it holds. Most didn't use the official bridge. Yeah, exactly. And Frog Hunter, like this is the thing. Native bridge volume was something I called out many times. A lot of other influencers and Twitter people did not do it. And by the way, guys, for those of you saying, oh, well, I'm not part of your group, I didn't see this. Well, guys, I literally share this in that, like I've shared this on the videos. Like I've shared this in those guides before too, the little snapshots. So there's not a real reason at all. Like if you followed me, I mean, like if you didn't follow me, I get it. Because like, I'm not saying everyone has to follow me, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna open. Anyone who puts scam here, I'm not gonna read the comment. But 250K volume and whole station, for example. Toby, tell me what happened to you. How much money did you put into ZkSync? When did you start farming it? Use it over 12 month, over 200 transaction, over 100 paid in fees, over 10K volume. After all, I kicked me from Discord. Sorry, what? They kick you from Discord? What do you mean? What do you mean they kick you from Discord? Did they? How much money did you keep on chain though? Like, guys, they're doing exactly what Blast is doing overtly. Blast is just telling you, if you hold money on our chain, like I'm just gonna open up Blast here just so you guys can see it. Like I don't have much on Blast anymore. As you guys know, I sort of got my money for the most part out of there. But you guys can see here, right? Look, I got my 0.2-ish ETH here, 18x multiplier. Got 18 million points here, right? Because it's just collecting. And I got my gold. But like, this is exactly what was happening with ZkSync behind the scenes. If you at least minimum qualified, this came into effect. So that's sort of the same idea. Doesn't matter how many transactions, doesn't matter all that. Because I was trading a bunch of crypto values tokens, the yield token, you know what I mean? Why did they kick you? Was it today? And did you say something? I'm not saying you did, but please give more context. I put in a lot of effort, didn't get much. Same as NFT Hustle. I did 150K volume and I have the NFT. How much liquidity did you have, Haitian? Haitian, how much liquidity did you have on chain? How much ETH and for what time period? Remember, it's not okay to just have it. Like if you had it on March 23rd and you got the snapshot with 100 ETH, it doesn't matter. It's going to look at it over time, you know? Miss you on YouTube. Yeah, World of AI. I will be back more often. Like I said, I've just been, I was sick with the virus that shut the world down, you know? So I'm back. I'm still not fully recovered, but you know, I wanted to make this video today because I thought it was very important and sort of talk to you guys as well, you know? It's weird, man. I did Paymaster. Yeah, I did Paymaster too, but like I said, it comes back to what did you do? Got 100K, having trouble accessing site from US now, even with VPN. Yeah, so Casey, you got to be very careful here. Look into residential VPN. If you're not sure, go look up EigenLayer VPN solution on Twitter. People were discussing all this because back when the claiming was being in pain, they had to go through through the same kind of hassle. Okay. Worst case scenario, if you got 100K, you can book a quick trip up to Canada. Probably cost you a couple $100. Fly down to Canada, claim your token, sell your token, return home. That's what I would do if I were you. Farm 4 wallets eligible for 3 total. 64K ZkSync, not complaining, focusing on linear and scroll. Yeah, and Justin, it's the exact same thing. I would make sure you have ETH sitting on scroll for the same reason. Just like these lessons, you gotta take as much in as possible. Do not listen to these people who copy and paste stuff. I was already seeing the I think it was a scroll airdrop, and it was using the ZkSync eligibility checker. It's just people are so stupid, you know. Definitely seeing a lot of discrepancy. Got 149K. Wow, that's nice, and because it's 100K cap, so yeah, you got 3 wallets. That's pretty sweet. Good job. That's sweet. Anyone think they're gonna change the allocation? It's a possibility. It's a low likelihood. I think the allocation that might change is they may increase the airdrop percentage to give a little more tokens out this way than anything else. They did say, and Cap talked about this at the bottom of his thing. They came back and said something. Where was it? They did respond saying they were going to do something. Here we go. Exact response from the team. This is very helpful. Please keep consolidating and forwarding feedback. We're working on something. So there is something that's going to happen. We don't know what it is. And remember, no promises or anything like that. But it's possible there will be some sort of allocation change. Hopefully it's not one where they just take from those of us who got 100K, 50K, 80K, whatever. But instead, take it away from the team members or whatever and give more like a 17.5% airdrop to 20%. The Gitcoin passport actually didn't end up doing anything. However, what I think it might have done is it might have given you the multiplier for ETH contracts. So that's the potential. We don't know it though. Didn't call it out. Thank you, Justin. I'm so grateful. It's going to help you and family. Yeah. No, dude, that's awesome to hear that story. Like not to hear that you got laid off, but to hear that you got that win at such a pivotal time. But it also speaks like, Brian, what I will say though is, you earn this. And the reason I say that is you don't just get this randomly just like doing nothing. You've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the effort, right? I know some of you put in the effort, you didn't get anything. And the thing is, at this point, you have 2 things you can do. You can either give up or you can try harder. And like I said, this is exactly why we have the group that we do, because we make sure that we're not focusing on too much. We're focusing on a few things, and we're going to get paid out big for those. So this is the thing. And whether you join my group or others, this is the mentality you should have. I keep telling people who go, oh, I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe I didn't get this. I want to quit. But I also see them posting 300 different things like, oh, I want to do this campaign, this campaign, this campaign. I'm like, guys, like, how do you have the time to focus? You can't do everything well. You can only do a few things very well. So focus on that. And I think, Brian, congratulations. It's good to hear that this came through for you. Gitcoin did nothing. Well, I think it's a contract thing as well. Most disgusting airdrop I farmed. Well, Sajan, there's no context here. I'm gonna imagine that you didn't really put in the effort, unless you want to say otherwise. Let us know what you farmed, what that means. Let's go, ZkSync. Yeah, agreed. Black Boku, how's it going? Hi, how are you? Nice work, man. I didn't do enough LP. Yeah, you know what? Like the LP, the LP that I did actually was not done on purpose. I did this over about a year and a bit ago, where I put some money into ZkSync swap, like $50, and I left it there for a year, forgetting about it. That was basically it. But everything else was just holding ETH on chain, which I think is what made the difference for me. 57K, that's awesome. Congratulations. I started farming it in August 23. So glad I did. So grateful. Can't think of another word. Yeah. God works in mysterious ways. I'm happy to hear that for you. Who wins will always say it's fair. If they didn't win, they thought it would be completely different. No, that's not true. So like Black Boku, what I would say a little differently here is, like I said, there have been airdrops I've qualified for that I thought was, not done very well. I think ZkSync, of the ones I've seen, has been done pretty well. Like I said, I think I'm not a fan of them leaking the NFT date. I'm not a fan of the paymaster thing is obvious, right? I understand the ETH holding it. That was a lesson we learned from Starknet. But what I'm saying is, if ZkSync, for example, gave me 100K tokens, but they basically disqualified people for what Starknet did, I would be calling it out. It's very different. So while I agree with your general sentiment, I think most people think that way. I do not think that way. Like I said, I'm here to make sure that you guys win. And like I said, I cannot do this stuff for you. I can only help guide you as much as possible. For those of you who followed my guidance, you put 0.1 ETH into ZkSync. You did it. You held it there. You did exactly what I said in the spreadsheet. Can any of you actually tell me you did all those things, and you didn't earn the airdrop? I want to hear from you. And if that's the case, send me a wallet address, because I'm going to check that out, and I'll make sure I talk to the ZkSync team for you, because there's no chance that could happen. People with better stats than me got no eligible. I got lucky because I LP. That shouldn't differentiate. Yeah, but so Simply Gains, like I said, the criteria is arbitrary, right? They get to pick the criteria. We've got to basically place our bets like a roulette table, right? What they did was, once again, focus on people who contributed to the chain. They wanted to get real users. For them, they didn't want people who were just doing transactions, submitting them, because there were so many people doing this with automated bot services, etc. And what they had to do as a project is go, okay, great. If you're the ZkSync team and you have all these people coming in and you want to make sure that the tokens get in the hands of the people who will use it, what do? There's no perfect solution in my mind. But what they chose to do was they chose LP. They chose to put it in ETH over time. I know people who didn't do LP, but they held ETH on chain and they bridged it to the native bridge like they were told to. And they got a big airdrop. I know a couple people got basically not 100K, but close to it. And that's exactly what they did. So this is why I'm saying, you didn't have to do all of it. You just had to do some of it, and you would have been good, Yeah, whatever. They followed ARB criteria, but the problem is they don't want people to follow the exact criteria with Arbitrum, because if you did that, then all of a sudden, what ends up happening is people just end up duplicating this and just farming the airdrop, and it's not the essence of what they want to do. They wanted real users, because they don't want people to just take their token and dump it. Remember, these guys get paid if you don't dump their token, because they want to sell their token, right? These guys' tokens unlock way after ours do. They unlock on a schedule. Ours do not. Ours just come unlocked. So they need to find people. Their ultimate goal is to find people who will hold their token. That's who they want to hand it over to. Because if they can do that, and if they can get them to hold the token, then when they get their token out, they're able to sell some of it and pay themselves a significant amount. Think of it like stock options. That's how they're treating it. So that's what they're trying to do with these airdrop campaigns. Who can I find in this community that would actually want to be and stick around? Who can I trust with these tokens for the price not to erode that much? That's how they're thinking. If they're sitting in a room having a discussion, that's what they're trying to do. Okay. Congrats. Nice. You got 75K. Congrats to you, Agent Moto. Got 3K on chain. How long did you have it for? And yeah, of course, if you're going to say things like that, if you say things like this, you can't be surprised that they kick you out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they should have kicked you out, but I also don't blame them, because I was in the ZkSync Discord today, and it was just a bunch of spam, a bunch of polls about scam, whatever. Once again, I see this happen every Discord. And then people move on to the next one and complain. And like I said, what was it? 5 months ago, we were here. I got a 0 for Starknet. And I'm like, you know what? Next time is going to be different. I'm going to focus on doing it even more, drilling down specifically, which is why I'm very laser focusing these things. We're doing that all together in a group. But yes, their insiders may have gotten some. But the idea here is we eat too. We're trying to make it so we eat as much as possible as well. 5 active months, use this as my main L2. Yeah, but you got 15K on swaps and bridging, but that means nothing. How much did you hold on chain, and for how long? Probably had it for 3 weeks, no more than 500. That's exactly why. You see what I'm saying? And Haitian Buffet. If I look back, how long were you on ZkSync? Because you got 150K volume, right? And I'm wondering, like, so you got 4,300 and you did 3 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Imagine if you had that for 3 months or 6 months. This is exactly it. You can be in the Discord for 2022. It doesn't matter. What they cared about was how much money you brought on chain, how long you were holding it for. For them, this was better than Gitcoin Passport to help them filter out Sybils, right? Because if you're duplicating effort, you're not able to have the liquidity everywhere. And that's what they did. And this is what a lot of chains are doing. Linea started to do that too. It makes sense because once their Linea Park was done and they were doing the proof of humanity or whatever and found it got compromised, all of a sudden Linea Surge came out. They're like, put on liquidity. Guess what? That's how they're going to differentiate people and the size of their airdrop. Same thing with Blast. Blast, however, is doing it in your face. Everyone knows here, this number of points is what corresponds to your airdrop. I've only got 0.2 ETH here because they charge you a tax, but I had much more at one point. I had like 2 or 3 ETH at one point sitting here. Not anymore. Got 18 million points, 311 gold. So what? I think my gold is worth, what was it again? 33 million points as well. So yeah, I got 50 million points. Great. So I'm just saying, like, this is something you guys have got to be aware of. Like, just be realistic. And guess what? ZkSync's not the last one. There's going to be more airdrops, but if you guys do not pay attention and you just sit there and you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. I want to see you guys celebrate. I want to see you guys happy. I want to see you guys happy like Brian over here. I want to see you guys talk about this the same way. And you guys will, if you pay attention and you just put the effort in next time even harder. I'm not saying you didn't put the effort this time. Put in the effort even more. Focus on fewer things. You don't need to do, if you're not mastering the 5 top airdrop activities you're doing, do not do any more than that. Okay? This is exactly how I work with my group. I do not want them doing too much because once again, you get distracted. You don't focus on the right things. Chirag, see, this is exactly it. Started airdrop hunting in Feb. See, Chirag came in, started for 1 month and got 20K ZK token, right? Now, obviously, this is something that is a discrepancy because, once again, we didn't know to put this much money on chain and whatever. But we did know we had to have some money on chain, and we did know you had to be there for quite a bit of time. This is why I left it there, and this is why I instructed the group to at least hold at least 0.1 ETH on chain. I agree it's hard to know what the requirements are to qualify for these airdrops when it deposit and withdraw, guessing there's lots of insiders. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Fair launches, there's no such thing as a fair launch in crypto. What you can do, and this is sort of why I believe in this method, I personally do not like holding any airdrop tokens unless they are earning me other airdrops. And the reason for that is I want to put my money and denominate it into tokens or whatever that I believe in. This is why I denominate it in ETH, I denominate it in BTC, I denominate it in Solana, right? Okay, you said the same thing again, Toby W. I don't know if there's anything new here unless I'm just reading the comment again. I'm happy with ZK airdrop. Got 33K over 2 walls. I farmed every day for 2.5 years. Awesome. Congratulations. As you can see here, like, it was the liquidity here. Like, wow, every day for 2.5 years is insane. I hope they get people that made transaction volume, smart contract, and age of wallet. I don't want to be, yeah, same here. It actually concerned me because I was like, if they mess with the allocations and people were selling on Whales Market or whatever, or any of these pre-market things, they get absolutely screwed, My wallet is top 9%, but they got 0. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Chris. Did you hold any ETH on chain? And if so, how long? Because even if you didn't LP, you should have gotten some there. Did it with very little money, like under 3K. Yeah, well, 3K is still a lot of money, right? So if you held money on chain, that was likely what was earning it for you. Also, thank you for the super chat, Justin Casey. $2 got 64,000 tokens from 4 walls. Yeah. Thank you so much for the $2 and congratulations. That's awesome. Did LP of 500 for like 2 years. Happy with ZK. Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. What LP should I do on Scroll and Linea so I don't miss out on those? Well, you can check out Aave. You can check out Stargate Finance. They got Linea Surge. Like I said, it doesn't just have to be an LP, right? You can look at SyncSwap. SyncSwap has liquidity pools if you want to put in $50 or something there. But I think very importantly is also to just hold money on chain. So like if you can put 0.5 ETH on each of the things you're farming, great. If not 0.1 ETH, obviously, whatever you can afford to do, it adds up over time. Remember, just think about it like Blast. Think about all this like Blast is happening everywhere. Just assume that from the get-go. You don't need to go crazy, just have some here. ZK is worth about 0.34, 0.33. So Whales Market currently has it at 0.32. Okay. So this is what I've been looking at. The price has been fluctuating. It dropped from 0.9 this morning, or yeah, what was it, 0.85, and it crashed. I thought about shorting this stupid thing too before. I thought about selling some at this price, but I'm like, what if it goes the other way? And I'm like, I'm screwed. So it's just too much of a gamble for me, but I should have done it, I guess. Right now, 1 ZK is worth about 34 cents. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Brown Gent grinds, works hard, gets rewarded. You appreciate it. Nice. On the pre-market, whales down market. Yeah, exactly. I followed Brown Jet, got big airdrop. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Torch about 60 dApps with 10 TX. Awesome. Perhaps why the criteria always changes is because they're trying to beat the Sybils. Yeah, like I said, Mickey, like I work for a big healthcare company, and one of the things that we do a lot is we will sit in a room with the leaders. And, when I was in my previous role, we talk about how to incentivize the sales team and how we come up with mechanisms. So you have these big meetings. So like, there's not like somebody decides something and it's over, right? You have to go through multiple iterations. It goes through approval processes and such. What happens in this case is when they're in their room, their bonus depends on it. Remember, this is an airdrop for us. It's their bonus, because if they don't do this properly, if they don't give the tokens to people who they think will not sell, like if they give it to people who will sell, they are more likely to dump the tokens, and by the time their tokens unlock, they become somewhat worthless, which makes it so their bonus can go from 100% of the value they were going to get to 5% of the value they're going to get. So this is why it's a very big deal for them. I know a lot of us only think about ourselves, but think about what they go through on the team side as well. They get paid through tokens. They don't get salaries. They get tokens, right? And that's actually a way better potential if it's done right. And that's why they're so focused on how can I give this to people who won't sell. And that's why when we look at the criteria that gets selected, it's people who are actually interested in the uniqueness of the chain, account abstraction, paymaster. Other things that matter in this case are like people who supported the ecosystem by not just bringing ETH in, doing a few things and leaving, but leaving the ETH there for a while, showing their commitment to ZkSync. That being said, they can't read our minds. They have no idea how many of us will sell, how many of us just left it here to once again game the system, but that's what they're trying to do. I got 59K tokens, about 2K of LPs over 2 years. Congratulations, Adri. I focused on ZK in January. Definitely my fault. My first transaction, spring 23. Though I'm grateful, I knew I wasn't getting much because Snapshot was in March. But still, this is the thing, right? Like, the more that happened, like I said, we can only learn from this, right? Like I said, idea here is, guys, our goal is like, I don't want to sort of just say, oh my God, this sucks, we suck. Like, even when the whole thing with StockNet was going on, I'm like, yeah, StockNet sucks, but here's what we can learn from this, right? Because look, we've got so many more opportunities ahead of us. There's going to be other big airdrops. When I do those streams on those airdrops, do you guys want to come on and tell me that it's a scam too? Or do you want to come on and tell me how like grateful you are, like, we heard earlier, because you got a massive airdrop and it means so much to you? That's what I want to see from all of you. But you won't have that if you have this victim mentality. You guys got to grind. You guys got to actually put in the work, and you guys got to be okay. You guys got to be okay with not doing something. What I want you guys to do is make a priority list. Like, if you're in my group, you already know what the priorities are. But if you aren't, I'm not saying you need to join, but create your own priority list. What are the top 5, top 10 things you're going to do? Don't do anything else. Don't add anything else. Create a hard stop for you guys, because remember, the airdrops, they're supposed to add to your liquidity, they add to your portfolio, and they allow you to buy other tokens or whatever and invest in crypto so that you can ride the bull run euphoria. That's really the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal here is not for you to add 300 different tokens to your wallet because you got airdrop, DGen, ZK, OP, ARB, whatever. because a lot of these tokens are vaporware and they will eventually trend to zero. These are all, VC run tokens. So in my opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of holding them. I like holding ETH, BTC, Solana, and a few altcoins, which for those in the group, they kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. Would have done better within April. Yeah, I think a lot of people would feel the same way. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read the next comment because I think it's a joke. If you're upset with ZkSync because they didn't give you a token, you're gonna, it's a big failure. You may want to read, and I'm not talking about you, Haitian. I'm talking about the comment I'm not gonna read. Actually, I'm just gonna put it up here for this person. Like literally, if you think that it's gonna be the biggest failure just because you didn't earn tokens, you might want to look and see what you could have done differently too. It's I wouldn't say it's just them. Okay, Tuan Trend got nothing. Been new since Feb. Yeah, I think part of this also here is like I said, it depends on how much you put in, how much effort you put in that time period. Because I know some people who started, like Ajin was just saying, started and got, what was it, 75K or something, or got a ton. So that was very, very important. So remember, you can't change something. Some things there's nothing you can do, right? Like at that point, doesn't matter. You can't go back in time. We don't have a time machine. This is not Dragon Ball Z or anything like that. But where we can change and make, when we can do something, let's do it and let's go hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's super important. We go here, Ajinomoto, next is 0. I give complete credit to Jen for dropping the motivation video on Feb 10th or 11th. I don't even know when it was, but yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Guys, remember, a lot of people here are saying that, like they were telling you then, don't farm it. It's a waste of time. But I know people who farmed it in Feb who got a big size or decent size ZK allocation. And I hope the same thing happens for layer 0 when it comes out. We also got Blast this much. We also got EtherFi at the end of this month. It's going to be amazing. And like Haitian Buffet says, I will crush either phase 5, phase 2. Happy for the guys that grinded ZK earlier. Thank you, Thank you, Haitian. And hope we all get, eat very well in EtherFi. I got 0 for EtherFi last time because I faded it. Focus on Swell, and we still haven't gotten the Swell airdrop, which is a joke, I told my girlfriend that was unemployed to daily take care of my wallet. She did all except LP because we don't have liquidity yet. And this is the thing, right? So Nick, you see, this is exactly what they wanted to avoid. You had a bunch of wallets with $100 trying to earn the token, and they wanted to avoid that because they know you would sell the token, right? So they said, let me look and just say, hey, anybody who's holding ETH on chain, LP, we're going to run the tally. We're going to run that tab up, and for however long it's there, we're going to keep giving them tokens every single minute, every single day. We don't have the formula, but that's exactly what they were trying to do. And unfortunately, this is exactly why this approach is not good. And this is also one of the things, Nick, I will tell you, don't take this the wrong way. My focus for you, for the future airdrops, focus on one wallet first. I know a lot of people are focused on multiple wallets. I got a few, but I have one main wallet that I want to focus on always. And the reason for that is you need to ensure that you get this one perfect. If you it's the same I tell people who tell me they start a business, they want to expand. I'm like, you haven't shown proof of concept with one. Why are you looking to expand into others? So that's sort of my advice for you when it comes to Scroll, Linnea, and things like that. Make sure you can do one properly first and doing it the right way, focusing on accumulating liquidity, doing all those things, right? Having at least 0.1 ETH, better 0.5, better even 1 ETH on chain. These are the things that will help. I think I'm spreading. Randall, please stop test nets. Guys, if you're doing test nets in 24, you're following the wrong people. I will tell you guys, test nets are not it. Do not do test nets. They will not pay out. This is not the time. Test nets are really good in bear market. So if everyone thinks crypto is dead and no one's in that stuff, then do it. But now these things are like multi-farmed. Like everyone who can do it is doing it and wasting their time. You don't have the time to do it. Don't spread yourself too thin. You're gonna burn yourself out, guys. Don't do it. 100K max allocation is crazy to me. Well, I mean, you can say that, but I think like a lot of other projects didn't have a cap, and I saw people get tons of tokens. So like, what's the rationale here? In fact, I mean, I actually got to the point where the 100K cap didn't affect me, but I know that some people got cut because if they got 100K, they probably got more. So I don't think cutting that and spreading it out is a better idea. I think just taking it away from the team, taking away from moderators doing that and increasing the airdrop is a way better solution than doing this. And I would say that even if I got nothing, it just makes no sense. I said the same thing for Parcel, where I got middle of the pack or like a small amount of tokens, but I thought that those who were at the top shouldn't have got theirs slashed. What's the market cap? I think I saw something around $5 or $6 billion fully diluted value. Been using ZkSync for over 2 years. Staked with SyncSwap, had staked, like liquidity pool, do you mean? Had weekly activity, zero allocation. Yeah, Tickle Bear, if that's the case, definitely go reach out to them to find out what's going on. Because if you had ETH on chain, and if you had like, whether it's liquidity pool or whatever, if it's for a period of time and you did like at least hit one qualification, so you got 10 contracts, which I assume you did if you did weekly activity, then you should be qualified. So I would check to make sure that you didn't get filtered out for some cyber behavior or something like that. I think people who are mad are the ones who wanted to dump. I mean, the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those people who want to dump the token too, but at the same time, I also try to understand where they're coming from. So like, I've been grinding on ZkSync since March or April 23, but at the same time, like, I have been very like clear on what I'm doing. Guys, do you remember how many influencers, like, and I'll be honest, I shared these things too because I wasn't sure. But all those NFTs we minted, like all that junk that people were sending us for a while. Where is it? Like these stupid NFTs like ZK Stars or where is this hypercomic NFTs, this collaboration with ZkSync or even GRVT and stuff like this. None of it ended up mattering at all, at least yet. Maybe GRVT will give us some ZK tokens. We don't know. That might be one of the things. But everything else was just a money grab. You know what I'm saying? That other projects use to jump on ZkSync farming, and the influencers jump with it. Tickle sounds like a mistake. Yeah, so I agree. Tickle, that one definitely sounds weird. I think the checker's not working for some people. Country restriction VPN not work. Any solution? What do you mean it's not working? Like your VPN's not working? Have you tried a residential VPN? That might be one of the best ways to do it. If not, check online, and they'll probably have solutions for people already, because you won't be the only one. Appreciate the stream. Hit the like button. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Will you sell 100% of your airdrop? Yeah. Adri, I don't want to hold on to the ZK token. I'll just be honest. I would rather hold ETH. I will use ZkSync. I think ZkSync technology is fantastic. I will be in the ecosystem. I will support it and everything, but I will support it through Ethereum. I don't want to hold a token. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think very highly of governance tokens. I don't want to vote on these things. And I look at it almost like a depreciating asset. That's not to say it always will be. I've seen some tokens go up, but I do think ZK is probably one of the better airdrops, like in terms of token and sort of what it's going to mean. But still, like, I also think a season 2 is coming out, so I'm not really sure. Did you hear the part where they think there's an army of XI civils, and this army is trying to sway public opinion and influence teams to make it seem like there's a big backlash? Could be. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. The thing is, the team won't make that many changes. Remember, the team's not going to go out there and just change everything, I hope, right? I've seen the other teams like Starknet really hold steadfast. They may make slight changes, right? Like they may go and say, well, we'll change by 1%. Remember, guys, that we're fortunate to live in a world where we can actually respond to companies when they do things and they come back to us. When I was young, you couldn't say anything. When somebody did something, so be it. Now we got social media, so we didn't like their ad. Let's get up on here and talk about it. That wasn't always the case. So a lot of people take this a little too far, where they think, well, their opinion means more than the company's. So kind of not saying it's the right approach or that it's good or bad or anything like that, but we won't know. But I do think that they may look to increase allocation of the airdrop. Don't know. We may see it go from 17.5 to 20%, 17.5 to 18 or 19%. We saw that happen with Renzo protocol, right, when they did that whole screw up. So we'll see. Got zero ZK, focus on one wallet. Jep, how long did you have the wallet? How long did you have LP and ETH in there? Like I said, guys, like, please, You cannot listen to these influencers who don't have your best interest at heart. They're just going to be here making a video every single day. Like you that's how you know these people don't have your best interest. Like I'm not here making videos daily. Like even when I made videos daily, I talk about the same thing again and again and again. Why? Because I did not want you guys to get distracted. I did not want you guys focusing on other crap. But if you focus on one wallet, how much money did you have in that wallet? That's the reality. You need to have liquidity here, right? They had hidden criteria. I reached omnibus criteria, LP criteria, paymaster, etc. Got 8K. Yeah, well, the thing was the base users got it because of the DGen airdrop. It is stupid. They rewarded DGen airdrop holders, and here's why. Once again, Inspire, it goes back to what I said earlier around the around that airdrop, right? So if you think about it, if you got an airdrop and you held it, what does that tell ZkSync management? Oh, if we give the airdrop, they're likely to hold ours. And what does that mean? Well, that means when I finally have my tokens unlocked, if I give it to this person, they're much less likely to sell, and thus the value of my token will hold. That's how they're looking at this. Thanks for the advice. I will focus. And yeah, Nick, like, not saying you can't do more, but start with one. Make sure you got proof of concept, then expand. But like I said, focus your liquidity. Focus on fewer things. Do it right. Once you get your reward, you're seeing, okay, I'm doing it right here. Then for the future airdrops, start branching out. Okay, now you're good with one. Now do two. Are you able to get good allocations on both? Okay, great. Now move it out. A lot of people just go, hey, I haven't gotten a single airdrop. I'm going to start with 10 wallets. And then they get nothing because they split themselves too thin. You know, you don't want to do that. Maybe controversial opinion, but the high minimum allocation makes sense for 2 to 3 year farming period. If I got 100, I would still be mad. So either 300 or nothing. Yeah, exactly. So like they gave 900 as a minimum. So people got 200 or 300 bucks at the end. But like even then, if someone got a few little more, like they're not going to care. They're going to sell them. It still won't matter. I saw this happen with Renzo Protocol. Tell me anyone who, after they got what they wanted from Renzo, these people who got their extra money, all the people who called it a scam. I called it a scam for a different reason. And I didn't call it a scam even. I just said they're irresponsible. They don't communicate. They had a huge DPEG event. They had no clarity on it. Recently their Discord got hacked or their Twitter got hacked. They were booting people who were saying this stuff as well, like, after the fact. They got no communication skills, no integrity. They gave an extra 1%. And all of a sudden, all people are like, oh my God, they're the best. They're so good. Stop talking bad about them. Brown Gen, you're the worst, blah, 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 blah. And then guess what? They got their token. They sold their token. They moved on. These people don't care. All these people want is extra $5, $10, whatever. And if they don't get it, they just scream and throw a tantrum. It's unacceptable. I'm not saying most of you, just some people, I've seen them do this. And I don't get it. Got 0 ZK with one wallet, but sadly, many other Cyber got 50K. Lucky, I'm just entire airdrop January this year. Feel bad that other people got farmed. Don't know. People that claimed DGen airdrop and own ZK Skull got 10K allocation. Yeah, no, like I said, the omnibus was not an allocation one. It was basically it was a 1 point qualifier, and then the money on chain is what qualified you from there, which was kind of weird they did that, because I would have thought omnibus would have been treated the same way as other NFT projects, right? Which is probably what they should have done. I would have taken omnibus out of it and made it an extra 10K allocation or something. So I completely agree there. It's stupid they made that one of the point criteria, because they said, oh, you got omnibus, great. Now you qualify. Now do you have your ETH? Do you have your LP or whatever? I'm not going to talk about this, what Tommy is saying, but Tommy, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I know what you just said. I'm not going to read the rest of it. If you're going to focus on linear and scroll, if you're not doing this, if you're going to do the same thing and you're going to put your head in the sand, Tommy, you're going to get the same result. So if you actually want to earn tokens, if you want to be here celebrating when this happens, please put liquidity on chain. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys this. Do not sit there and put $5 on chain and just hope things are going to work out for you. Linear might be better because you got LXP, but at the same time, if you want a decent amount, put money on chain for both. Just reality, okay? Use ZkSync for 5 months, 20K volume, interacted weekly. Yeah, there you go. You didn't have much money in there. So what probably happened is you probably got like a couple hundred allocation, and then you got filtered out because you didn't hit the threshold. So sorry to hear that, Cleve. I think the team user criteria is similar to Cashmere Labs to filter out Sybils from real users, where you have to have ETH on the Ethereum mainnet, not only on ZkSync. That would be interesting. And in fact, that is something that I did call out. So if I go back here, I put this here too. So these are other two things. Hold some ETH on ETH mainnet, hold some ETH on ZkSync Lite. And this was there for this reason. I think Starknet also mentioned in one of their calls that that's what they would have done differently. If they could do Starknet all over again, they would have had the requirement be to have ETH on the ETH mainnet, not on Starknet. And they said there's some weird way how they were going to link the wallets together. I forget how they said they were going to do it. There are 2-month-old wallets that got 30K tokens with 9 transactions. Meanwhile, yeah. Well, the thing is, once again, it's based on how much money you have over time. So if you put a bunch of ETH in over that period of time, then you would have got it. Will they have staking? Yes, they will. I will not be staking. It already dumped. It looks underpriced. Yeah, well, it was 30, whatever, right? Influencer will dump so hard on us. I'm eligible, but bro, Cybele means no more than 1 wallet. Influencer have 10 wallet without Cybele. No, so just so you know, a lot of these protocols have this like kind of system. I think Apto said you could have 20 wallets. I think Arbitrum was also 20 wallets as well, and you're not a Sybil. The problem is what you don't want to do is have a lot of these like wallets just farming endless transactions. That's what Sybil behavior is. Like, it's not real. It's just like kind of simulated behavior. If I have degen in my Coinbase wallet, well, you get no. So LT HUD, what I would say here is you never have stuff in Coinbase wallet. Why? Because they take your airdrop. You don't keep the tokens on exchange. And just so you know, it's not about having degen anyways. It was if you had the degen airdrop. I got like 10,000 degen token that I purchased to participate in their airdrop campaign or whatever for tipping and all that. But that wouldn't qualify me for the airdrop either. I got 100K in ZkSync and got peanuts. Tommy, do me a favor. Post your wallet address here right now. If you post it, I will go through and do a forensic audit on the stream and go through exactly what happened. And like I said, same deal. If I can't find anything, I will go to the team myself and talk to them on your behalf. Put your wallet address in the chat. Okay, I'll do that right now. We'll go through the bank. I paid for the premium service. I'm able to go use the time machine in their thing and actually see how much token you held at each date, and we'll go through it, okay? Bro, we put the effort. Come on, they gave us nothing because we didn't have liquidity. No, it's not that. Like I said, I know people who didn't have liquidity in the protocols, but they held money on chain, right? So the minimum, no, what I'm saying is, so Nano, I'm going to repeat this one last time, okay? Let me open up the page here. So let me grab it, okay? So if we go to this right here, these are just the points you get. If you get these points, you move on to the next phase, okay? So if you got 4 points, you're great. Doesn't matter if you got all 8, okay? That is great to get to the next step. It may add a tiny bit, but truly what you need to do is you need to get your allocation. Your allocation is based on this, okay? If you're eligible, this is what matters the most. How much did you bridge and how much did you hold in ZkSync? It doesn't matter about anything else. The liquidity also is basically a proxy for how much assets you hold on ZkSync. So if you had 4 still. So Nano, are you saying you had a ton of ETH sitting on ZkSync for a long period of time? Because I'll be honest with you, I know people who didn't have any liquidity pools open. Like I said, even for myself, I had $50 on SyncSwap. But I know people who had nothing, and they still got a massive allocation. So it is not about that. And like I said, once again, Nano, you're one of those people as well. Stop focusing on too much. You got to do less activities, because I think less activities will get you a better opportunity, right? Like I said, so many more things that are ahead of us. You guys got to stop following the wrong people, and you guys got to stop trying to do everything, right? There's so many things going on. Just be okay with walking away from 95% of the garbage. It's not worth it. I think people are frustrated because airdrops have been trashed, and ZK was one of their last hope. Yeah, and I get it, and I completely understand that, right? Because you know what, people will definitely feel that way, but at the same time, a lot of people are misinformed on what they need to do. And Simple Gains, that's just the truth, right? Like there's I'm one voice. I'm not saying I'm the arbiter of the truth or I know everything, but I like to say I'm gotten more things right than wrong. But when I look at what other influencers are doing, they're completely setting people up for failure. They're telling people, you do the following 3 activities, you're gonna get $100,000. Do this test net, bookmark this thread, and book and follow these other 5 chads because they're the ones who know what's up. And it's just some trash, waste people's time, waste you 4 hours of your time, and they tell you to do it every day, and then you come and you get nothing. And of course you're gonna feel it's a scam, but most people will call out the project and not the idiot influencers. The reality is, go into your follow list on Twitter, on YouTube, unsubscribe, unfollow all these people who gave you bad advice. You just don't have the time to listen to bad advice this cycle. You just don't. What's going to happen is people will try to get you with hype. People will try to get you with the easiest thing. They'll just use their words to try to make promises on behalf of protocols. And the reality is, for ZkSync, yes, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for Linea. There's a lot of potential on all the ones going on. But if you aren't having a structured way, and if you're not following the right people, they may send you down the wrong path. Now, I'm not saying all of you went through that. Some of you genuinely might have gotten screwed, in which case I recommend you guys go and reach out to the team. And in that case, also, I mentioned for Tommy, I'm still here. If you want to post your wallet address, I will bring it up on the bank right now. We'll do it live. I was going to log off, but I'm happy to stay on and do that with you right now, just to make sure we identify exactly what happened. I can forensic audit your wallet and find out exactly, and maybe you were unfairly removed, and I will go talk to ZkSync for you if that's the case, okay? I didn't know that. I will take money off the exchange. Yeah, exactly. So what you want to do is you want to pick up a hardware wallet, like I like these. It's called a ledger basically, but also LT HUD. What you can do is you can use MetaMask for now, but make sure you get a hardware wallet in the future. When you stake, don't stake with centralized exchanges. When you are staking in protocols, very, very important. EtherFi is going to hopefully print. EtherFi is another one where I've been talking to you guys about this for quite a bit of time. That's another one that I got nothing on because I did not put any effort in. I completely faded it for season 1. For season 2, as of day 1, I made sure everyone got their stake rank up, got their points. I also, guys, one of the things I was talking about in the Discord earlier today is, I'm not interested in getting referrals for this if it's going to hurt people. So I was getting a bunch of referrals early on. You see 47K. I told people, stop using my link, start using these other protocols, go to Blackwing, go to Mitosis, do all these other things, go into Pendle where there's no referral program, earn way more points, but at least have some liquidity on here to get you the extra bonus potentially for liquid. You also use EETH directly, so your stake rank stays up. And yeah, we'll check in for the 37 points right now. But I think it's super important. I think it's going to be a big one, okay? I think it was 2x for LP, 1x for on-chain. Okay, that could be. ZkSync is the best tech too as far as layer 2. Yeah, 100%. The best airdrop now that ZK is over, in my honest opinion, if you truly want, you don't have much time left, but it really is Orderly Network and Zeta Markets, which is the perpetual DEX on Solana ecosystem. But the other ones were pretty much near the end. We got another 19 days for EtherFi. We've got about a week and a half for Blast. We also got Scroll, Linea, Chroma coming up. So those are nice ones. If you haven't done those yet, I would focus on that as well. How are you doing? I can't get access with my VPN. Any idea? Pierre, are you in the US? My recommendation is you look for the residential VPN. It's slightly different. And if failing that, I would go on Twitter. The challenge is, and I wish I could help you, it's hard for me to diagnose it when I'm in Canada. When I was in the US, everything was being blocked for me. I had to get a residential VPN to be able to access it, right? So one of my friends was able to find one for me when I was down there. we got to set up. But like seriously, it's one of those things where I'm telling you guys, like, go on Twitter and ask, because people will literally, like, if you type in, VPN block or whatever US, you'll find it. And obviously make sure you find that it's like reputable, so it's not just some bot sending you some fake links, some scam websites. I would definitely check that out. But like I said, as much as I want to help, it's hard to do that when I'm here because I can't diagnose it. Stocknet was trash for me. I got the airdrop indirectly because you got the Immutable X. Nice. Took the strategies from all the previous airdrops and come exactly, and that's exactly right, Justin. This is why you got a decent amount, because you learned, right? You said, okay, you have to constantly adapt and stay with this, let it ride. I farmed 2K, 2 years, 120K volume. Not a lot, got 37.45. Yeah, a little bit LP. And yeah, it would have been nice to get some clarity on what the criteria was. The thing is, they just can't do it. They don't want people to take advantage of it. Love ETHFi drop, my biggest so far. Awesome, congrats. I really hope that we will have an opportunity here for season 2 as well. What do you think is the next step? Impact? Will people sell and buy ETH or NFTs? Will it go to other projects farming? So here's my honest opinion, and I've been very steadfast on this. I don't want to give up my ETH. So like, let's say you're farming Athena. My recommendation is lend out your ETH, borrow USDC, and then use that on another chain to farm like whatever other project you want to farm. If you want to farm Sanctum Season 2, because Sanctum Season 1 just finished, well, what you can do is you can basically borrow. You can borrow against your ETH. Your ETH is going to go up, in my opinion. That's why I'm holding a ton of ETH. You hold your ETH value will go up over time. And holding ETH on chain is, especially in these bigger chains like Scroll, Linea, whatever, is going to earn you points and earn you these big airdrops regardless. On top of that, by borrowing USDC against them, now what you're getting to do is you're able to then take that money, go on to something like Sanctum in the Solana ecosystem, buy all those different pets and whatever, level that stuff up. I was doing the same thing with Camino Finance, lending a bunch of Sol token to sort of farm other tokens, getting USDC for the Zeta market protocol and farm their DEX or farm their perpetual ecosystem. So that's what I would look to. I would avoid NFTs when possible. The only NFT that I bought two, I guess. I bought two NFTs recently. One was Celestine Sloth for 5,000 US. And I bought another one, the Mad Scientist, because it was on a massive discount. I also have some smaller NFTs, but I'm not too worried, like not too fussed. These are already in profit. But I bought the Sloth NFT because I want to get a massive TIA airdrop because they have a lot of associations. Okay. So learning the difference between SEX and DEX. Yeah, so centralized exchange versus decentralized exchange. L0 Curtis. Yeah, well, that's not really left, right? Because they've already done the snapshot. So that's just a claim. So it'll be great. If ZK is not worth holding, and what projects are worth holding? Well, Eigen is not worth holding on to either, Jonathan. So I'll tell you right now, I've already sold all my Eigen. It's already been sort of allocated to people, at least my first allocation. And whenever I get my second, I'll do the same thing. For me, I like holding BTC. I like holding ETH. I like holding Solana. Those are the top three tokens I'm holding. I'm holding some meme coins. I'm holding like Avalanche, Litecoin, Pepe, a few others. But 80 to 90%, probably like 80% right now is ETH, BTC, and Sol. And I like to denominate especially in ETH and Sol because they're more usable on chain. Where are you lending and borrowing most on EVM? You can use Aave, right? You can use Zero Lend. These are other protocols. Just any liquidity market. Those two are very trustworthy, so I use those. Any tokenless ones? Well, Zero Lend already just had their thing. Aave too. But Mickey, so here's my thing though. There may be some, but it shouldn't be the biggest It shouldn't be the biggest concern. Why? Because once again, this is people trying to do a lot of things. With a risk of a tokenless platform also comes smart contract risk and a lot more risk if it's some shady thing, right? So for me, like I use Camino Finance right now because they are not tokenless, but they're still doing season 2 of their airdrop. So I'm, if I show you over here, let me just bring this up. I borrowed like $5,000 from there, I think. Let me connect my wallet. Do you see this here? Yeah. So I borrowed 5,000. I owe them $76 and whatever. But you see here, I lent them 111 Solana tokens, right? So, doing that, borrowing USDC, and guess what happens? This goes out, this goes to Zeta, and I'm farming the airdrop that way. So I hope that sort of makes sense. Layer 0 snapshot done. Yes, it was done already. And exactly, you can always de-bridge, but you can use Aave, you can use the others. Like I said, like there may be some. I'm not too worried about those because for me, I want to have it on chain and I want it to be safe. ETH, I do not want to risk my ETH. And Aave is a very safe place as far as I know. So is Zero Lend. So that's why I'm using those. Okay. I'm not staking. I was never staking. Oh, sorry. So I never staked the Eigen token. I held ETH and I staked ETH on EigenLayer, but I was not staking the Eigen token. I am staking currently ETH on EtherFi. I have a ton of different ways to do it. I have it through mitosis. Where the hell is it? I got it through mitosis. I got it through Blackwing, wherever that is. I got it through Zerkit. I got it through Pendle. So those things are still happening. But like I said, my main holdings, ETH, BTC, Sol. And if I have USDC, it's probably because I lent ETH for USDC somewhere and then use that USDC to buy something, right? That's also me going super long on it. What's the best use for my Sol right now? Communal Finance, Mr. NH. I would go to Communal Finance, lend it out, borrow USDC, and probably use the perpetual DEX called Zeta Markets. I think Zeta Markets is going to be a big airdrop. I was saying this before, and then Drift airdrop came out, and it was massive in terms of how much they paid out. These things pay out big, so you definitely want to make sure you're farming it. And like I said, I don't know how much time is left, so you may not get a big enough allocation, but it's still worth it. Another thing you can do, Mr. NH, is this is going to be very simple. If you got a Sol token, don't forget, we have a massive Solana airdrop happening on Jan 30th, 2025 for Jupiter. Number 2. What's going to happen is if you want to earn this airdrop, why don't you consider lending your Solana token there, buying USDC, buying more Solana on Jupiter when Solana recovers, because currently it's $148 as we prepare for tomorrow's FOMC meeting. When the price goes up, because we're very long-term bullish in this market, the next, whether it's tomorrow, next week, or whatever, then you sell that back when it jumps up to 170. And then not only do you get the transaction volume on Jupiter, but you get the profit between what you bought the Sol for. With that USDC, you pay off the small interest and you're good to go. That's the other thing you could do if you don't want to use the perpetual. Yeah, Peter, it could be too late. It's still going on in my opinion. We haven't heard there's a snapshot. So I'm continuing to earn the Z score. But that's the other option. If you don't want to do perpetuals, you can do it this way too. Nothing happened with EigenLayer. I just don't want to have their token. So for me, I went on Whales Market, went like this with their token. I'm good. I don't need it. I want ETH. So that was sort of it. Anyways, guys, I noticed that I gave Tommy over here about 20 minutes to tell me his wallet address, but surprise, surprise, did not come on here and did not send the wallet. When I said, hey, you give me a wallet address, I will go through it and I will do a forensic audit and I will go and talk to the team. I'm happy to do it on stream. Guess what? They won't do it. Why? Because it's easy to talk and complain and say, oh, I put 100K in here. Really? I call. Show me. Of course they won't do it. This is what it is, right? Like, I'm here to help, guys. So if anyone's actually serious and you need to know what's going on, happy to help. But otherwise, don't waste my time saying, you got all these things when you don't. So John, come on, man. Next time, Tommy, let's be real here. Okay, Tommy? Exactly. Poker bluff. I snapped him off. I had the nuts and they just mucked it face down. Too late to start. Yeah, it could be too late to start for sure. I only got 53K wallet tokens on one wallet. Being years is all I get. 53K tokens is like $15,000, is it not? That's still pretty massive. So Degen Pilot, I think Degen Pilot, you're one of those people who comes on and brags. Even in Starknet, you're like, yo, clowning on people. So 53,000 tokens is a lot. I would still be happy. It's not about years. Remember, it's years times the amount of money you put on chain. I would not be disappointed if you got that. No, no, Jonathan, not you. I was talking about God damn it, Tommy Zalea. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, not you. 53K is not bad. How easy to sell on Whales Market? Very easy. When on Whales Market, oops, almost closed it. And all you gotta do is, like, let's say you're here. Let's just refresh. I'll just show you quickly. You gotta do is click on whatever price. So you see the price is actually slightly going up. You click on this button. It tells you right here. So remember, the red is if you want to sell. The green is if you want to buy, right? So this is the action you take. Okay, I'm gonna take this off so you can see this fully. Yeah. So basically you click on this, and if this is if you want to buy the ZK token, and because this is people who are selling it to you, right? And these people who want to buy it, so this is what you're selling to them. So you click on sell on one of these. Let's say the top one, that's the best price, 33 cents. You see here, it's already been partially filled. So 2.8 ETH is how much collateral. And basically you can choose, okay, I want to sell, they want to buy up to 13.39. I want to sell 5,000. Okay, that gives me 0.46 ETH. Now you've got to put in this collateral when you connect and agree. And the reason for that is if the price goes up, you would never fulfill the trade. And if the price went down, they would never fulfill the trade. That's why they make you do escrow, and the person who doesn't fulfill the trade forfeits their amount. It's sort of done that way, okay? No, I'm not staking on Eigen. I think it's a stupid idea. Who cries about 15K? 15K? Oh my God, I just seen screenshots of people with a lot more, and I'm out of date. I'm out of date? Problem with Whales Market is locking up money. Yeah, it's locking up money for 4 days though. Do you get what I'm saying? So like Whales Market is fine because like the claim date is on the 17th. So you can do a piece on it to hedge. That's what I did. So I hedged there. Hedging on Avo is not a bad idea too. I think it's blocked in some places. You think 1K is enough to farm mitosis? Yeah, I think so. Do I trust the platform? Yes. Pierre, do you want some free money? Let me show you something very quickly, okay? Let me go to Galaxy. I didn't make a video on this because I didn't have time. And so we shared it within the group, but let me just close this. Give me 1 second. I'll bring up mitosis. Okay. So there is, oh, damn wallet guard. So for mitosis, sorry guys, I just got to sign into my Rabby wallet. Okay. So what happened is when you're on mitosis, you want to make sure you're on Galaxy and you're doing the daily check-ins and you're doing their quests. So they have these things over here, which is basically you earn points, you claim OATs. Some of it you can just do by being part of the Discord server, sending messages. And every single week they update it. And then what you can do is you can go to claim.mitosis. I'm going to find this stupid website. Hold on a second. Claim mitosis. Or maybe it was more stuff mitosis. I think that's what it was. Yeah, here. So basically, if you do the Galaxy campaign stuff, this is the freest money you can get. And guys, I didn't make a video because like didn't have time. But you go in here, you click on claim, check claimable Morse. It connects your wallet, and it tells you how much you got. So basically, I've already claimed 0.47 Morse. I have 0 left to claim because they do a snapshot every single week. But then the Morse token last week was like $300. So it's about free $150 just for doing some of the Galaxy quests. And literally no one is talking about this, or at least I didn't see anyone talking about this. But those of us who are in the Discord who are actually doing this stuff, it's just free money. And I tell everyone, I don't care if you want to sit here and, if you want to sit here and like farm this, you can still sell this token. This token is currently $233. Still free $100. Just go and do the Galaxy Quest first because it's going to wrap up. Week 10 is the last week. But I don't think you can deposit 1K into Mitosis yet because they have their 4th epoch opening soon. You have to wait for that, okay? Not bragging, I just joined the stream. No, I'm not saying you're bragging. I'm just saying I think you were the one who, for Starknet, you were like, yo, look how much I got when I got 0. I was ranked 17K, only got 2,800. Definitely didn't have a lot of liquidity. Yeah. But no, congratulations. 2,800 is still, what is that? Like, that's like $600, $700. So still nice. YOLO Brown Gent. Hi, Dory. How do you partake in the developer dApps distributing some of their ZK allocation? Is it just a waiting game, assuming Snapshot is also done? I honestly have no idea. Oh, sorry, developer dApps. For ZK allocation, I think it might be Sync Swap and a few others, but I don't know about this. It's much harder to figure out because it's also at the mercy of what they decide to do. Maybe Gitcoin will have something. Maybe, right? We don't know. And the idea here is this is why we try to get involved early on in the protocol. I think also for any of those, they would have done the snapshot by now, though. I love that Jen keeps calling the Haitian buffet. Well, I think it's like the Haitian Warren buffet. Oh, damn. Is that what his name is? Oh, I've been thinking it's a restaurant, 100%. Damn, got called out. Yeah, like I didn't even make that connection. Damn, but good to know. Sorry to hear that, Dory. Will I farm Monad? Likely not. Will layer 0 be same like ZKS? Don't know. Normal, I'm gonna be honest, man. You gotta grow up, dude. Like that's like not Jep. This is for you, Normal. I'm leaving a comment, dude. Like I'll be honest, man. Normal, the way you're talking, you sound like very low IQ, and I think ZkSync should be asking for tokens from you. Anyways, I've been waiting on Hyperliquid. Oh boy, yeah, Hyperliquid. It just keeps postponing, right? So, Pierre, thank you. Not a problem. Like I said, guys. I wish I could have had time to make that video for Galaxy. I actually made that. I prepped the video, and then I just was in bed because I was like, super ill, so just couldn't do it. But if you guys can do, if you can check out Mitosis, you got a week left to do the Galaxy. Try to get as much of that if you can. Join the Discord, do that stuff, because every week they do a snapshot for Galaxy. Then you go to Morse, you collect it, and you can sell the token on Uniswap, right? So I would do it if I were you. There's not much liquidity though. I think no, there is. Oh well, this is 1.5K here, but like I think I might have picked up the wrong one as well, but there definitely was a bunch of liquidity when I was doing it earlier. This is probably just the wrong contract I'm looking at. I just typed in whatever. Let's see if there's other. Maybe it is, and maybe it did drop significantly. I don't know. But you see here, this is June. This one is still sold June 11th, 9:26 p.m. $76. So I don't know. Very interesting though. Good point. Okay, Hart, yeah, Dory Martin. People who feel ripped off by airdrops always hit the tech suck. Yeah, I had 6,000. I forgot to claim what? What do you mean you forgot to claim? There's not a time limit. So Dory, if you still can, like, go on the website and go to claim.zknation.io and click on the button. It should let you do it. You think Omnibus will still have some worth? I don't think so. Maybe it'll have something for season 2. Ironically, I bought it back after the big drop because I thought the drop was done dropping, and then it dropped again. So, oh well. Forgot to mention Tycho was amazing this week. I farmed 9 wallets. My total allocation is 2218 for about 6,500. Nice. I faded Tycho because I was too late on it, and I didn't want to bother adding to what I was doing. It's Buffet. You're like Hyacinth from Keeping Up Appearances. I don't know if you've ever watched that show. She's like, it's not bucket, it's bouquet. It's like, it's not buffet, it's buffet. It's all good. My name always get confused. I might change it. I'm an investor, sir. No, not some yummy meal. Went to Vegas, came back sick. Yeah, dude. I should show you guys some videos from that stuff. We went to some crazy pool parties. It's awesome. Do you think the linear campaigns will be actually worth something? I think so. But I think if you want to help yourself, put liquidity on chain as soon as possible. Are you going to farm Oxtra? Probably not. But I have to look into it. Like I said, a lot of times I don't keep up to date on everything going on because it's hard to. There's too many things going on. And like I said, crypto is like the Wild West. There's just so much. You can't know everything, especially when you have a full-time job responsible for a team and everything else like that. So not as familiar. I'll look it up. But for the most part, I'm very, very, how do I put it? I'm very strict on adding things to my rotation. There's just too much going on that I want to make sure if I add it, it's really worthwhile. So when I tell you guys about something, it has really passed the stress test, okay? The surge will be the priority. That's exactly right. What is Morse? Morse is a token. So Morse is the token for mitosis. One of the things here is like you can get an NFT if you have enough Morse, if you're one Morse token, but you can also sell the Morse token on Uniswap, which is what I've been doing. I don't care about that. I'm here to farm mitosis points, farm eigenlayer, farm EtherFi, and get that airdrop. I'm here for money. I'm not here for more NFTs and things like that. I want money. That's just me, okay? The brown gent being the brown lady of the club. Yes. Can't say any more information than that. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back soon. I'm almost back to 100%. But I want to thank you all for watching, guys. Keep up the good work. And remember, guys, if you did not get a good allocation this time, there's always next time. We've got to learn, right? Like focus for the next ones, making sure you have liquidity on these chains. If you don't have liquidity on Scroll, if you don't have liquidity on Linea or Chroma, make sure you make that a priority. Do not spread yourself too thin. Unfollow all those fake influencers who are sending you on wild goose chases. They're not going to help you out. And if you're like, hey, even after all this, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't do it. Well, we do have a Web3 Secret Society, this group that will help you, give you the actual playbook, give you the guidance, make sure you have the support you need to make sure that you're actually earning these massive airdrops. Because, hey, last time I sat there and you know what? I had zero. I'm perfectly comfortable sharing with you guys when I got nothing. This one, pretty much got the max allocation. So if you want to learn, if you want to continue, and you want to become self-sufficient, check out that group, the link in the description below. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, we got a massive opportunity ahead of us with the bull market. It's not too late. Do not give up. And David S., I already did the live stream for the group earlier today. Check out the archive. I have to go eat dinner and then get some work done before I go to bed and go to the gym, then go to bed. Probably just get some 30 minutes on cardio because there's no way I can lift weights right now. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.